This is High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1.
All right, back here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1 with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield. Thomas Simmons here as well, and we'll be joined by Phil Forbes here in a couple of minutes. He is the head baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs in Newport News. Did you say 50th wedding anniversary for Phil Forbes? Is that right?
Phil is celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary in New York watching the Yankees. His wife is definitely going to heaven because she's been through hell with him.
You did not just say that.
I can say that because I know Phil. I don't know his wife that well.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with you.
Yeah, something is definitely wrong with you, Ed.
Stephen A. We should interview her.
Screaming A.
For the 50th anniversary, you're going to go see baseball. I'm sure Phil's done some other things for her, though.
Well, she's a keeper, I'll tell you that. That's what I say. You say what you want. I say that's a keeper if she's doing that. Only problem is they picked the wrong stadium. They should have gone out to the old Bob out there at Chase Field to go out to see the D-backs, go in the pool, go swimming.
No, it's an anniversary.
Swimming in March.
It's an anniversary, not a potential for divorce.
Oh, stop that. Yeah, Tim broke my heart with it. The Diamondbacks are bad. Although they got a win last night.
Well, you heard it from the expert.
I did. Well, I knew it. I mean, what do you want me to say?
He said they have a chance to win the Pacific Coast League, but not the National League West.
Thomas, you got a coin in there? You got a coin? You can flip heads or tails because Ed and I. Oh, you don't know. We're trying to. We're doing our 5 best picks. We're debating. We both want the same team for the first one on the over/under, and I think it's going to make some of the local fans mad. We both want to go under on a certain team. Go under. They're pretty bad too, but we'll get into it. I'm showing that Menchville baseball. Maybe Phil, when we give him a call here, we can get this corrected. I'm showing 5-1 for them. I'm showing a 13-3 win over Warwick, a 14-3 win over Warwick. They beat Lakeland 9-2. They lost to Bethel 4-3 back on March 19th, which was not this past Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that. Then I'm showing blank for Bethel on the 21st. I don't know if they played that day or not. And then a 12-1 win over Denby, 13-3 win over Denby. You know, some of those blank spots on the schedule, they could be rainouts or weather situations. And I'm showing a lot of they still got a lot of Peninsula District games left with Kickotan and Phoebus, Hampton, Gloucester, Heritage, Woodside. Danny Mitchell's doing a great job at Hampton. I think they're undefeated right now.
Undefeated.
We got to get him on. And they have a VMI commit in Trey Morgan.
So the ESPN Radio jinx never hurts Danny.
No, and we haven't had Danny on in a while. I think last time he was on, was it you and Lynn had him on?
October for his Halloween thing.
Yeah, for the Crabberween. And then it got postponed a month and a half later, and they still had it, and I heard it was a smashing success, which is no surprise given that Danny's involvement. But those are two of the very best when it comes to baseball in the whole state, I think, right there in the Peninsula District with Danny Mitchell and with Phil Forbes. And I think if you encompass it to the whole area, Ed, I mean, there's a lot of good baseball coaches rolling right at Western Branch. You know Mark Stufel at Nansemond River. I think there's a bunch of them. Gary Spedden at Grassfield. I think there's no shortage of top-tier baseball coaches here in the 757 at the high school level.
Let's not forget Paul Shows.
Paul Shows over at Green Run. He coached for many years at Kempsville and Maury. So you're absolutely right. Quite a few. And at this time, we're now joined by the living legend. He is the head baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs. We believe at Yankee Stadium, we say good morning to Phil Forbes and a happy 50th wedding anniversary. How about that, Coach?
Hey, that's great. That's great. My wife and I have been going together since high school. Great.
Phil, Matt made an earlier statement here that your wife will definitely be going to heaven because it's been 50 years of hell with you.
I didn't say that. That was Ed who said that.
Only Ed should say that. First
of all, 50 years, when some people can't stay together for 50 days, is tremendous. You must be doing something right. But you're taking.
I don't say anything.
What's that? You don't say anything.
I don't say anything.
Okay, it's yes, dear, and yes, honey, whatever you want. That's the secret.
Absolutely. Just nod my head.
I was going to say, what is the secret? But you just told everybody. Don't say nothing.
Well, you just marry a good young lady who was a cheerleader in high school, loves sports, and that's why we're here at Yankee Stadium.
Because that's another thing I was going to say. You're taking her for her 50th to a baseball game. But I said, nah, Phil will put the tux on later and wine her diner in New York City. But she is a big sport fan, though. You're saying she is a Yankee fan, too?
Oh, absolutely. And a Menchville Monarch big-time fan.
I can imagine that. I can imagine when the Menchville coach makes mistakes, he hears it from the stands.
Oh, no telling. At home, I hear it.
Well,
that's all right.
Coach, your record on the season, I'm showing, is it 5-1 right now overall?
Yes, we are. We had one slip up. Yep. We didn't play well, and hopefully we've learned from it.
A lot of good players on this team for you, which is the norm for your squad. I know one of the leaders for you, Ahmad Goldson, who we got a chance to watch in basketball, was 9-2 last year, batted over 400 with 9 doubles. He's one of the several All-State players you have on this squad. Tell us more about him and some of the key contributors thus far.
Well, he's a pitcher for us, first baseman, outfielder, and just a great young man and looking to go on the next level. Very athletic. He probably could play at the next level of basketball also. And he's chosen to go to a junior college and try to better his skills and maybe go to a lot higher level at D1. He's had 4 D1 offers, but he would rather attend the junior college route.
Okay, and some other contributors we'll get to P5 here in a second, but I know Brandon Rogers is key for you, Anthony Hall. What do they bring your team?
Well, they bring to us great team leadership. Anthony is a center fielder with a strong arm. Brandon Rogers got several D1 college looks. He's a lefty pitcher for us and plays first base, and they both hit the ball very well. And so, we're pretty lucky all the way around. We have a good program.
Strength of this squad right now, I mean, I think a lot of teams such as yours, which are always in the mix come playoff time, and we know Class 5 Region A is very competitive. This is the last year for you guys in Class 5 before moving down to Division 4. You got to be well-balanced with pitching, hitting, fielding. What's sort of right now, early point of the season, I know you haven't gotten even to the midway point, the strength of the squad?
Well, the strength of it is we have so much experience, and we, as a young team, and I only have three seniors this year, and how far we go, they'll know how to prepare for it, and I will know how to prepare for it, and they'll have the experience, and so there won't be any jitters. It's just we want to take one game at a time, and hopefully we get that far outside the Peninsula District.
Joined by Phil Forbes. He is the head baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs. Our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1, eyeing another deep playoff run as they sit at 5-1 overall, Ed.
Hey, Phil, just before you, we had Tim Kirchin on from ESPN Radio, and he had a lot of good things to say about, of course, the Yankees and the stuff that's going on in Major League Baseball. I did ask him about some of the crazy rule changes they're proposing. As a veteran coach for you, it came across my mind as we're here talking to you. Is there anything you'd like to see changed in high school baseball that would be for the good of the sport, or are we okay where we're at?
I think we're okay where we're at. Everybody's trying to make it faster, quicker. The biggest wear and tear is on the pitchers. And, of course, if you don't have a lot of pitching, you're in trouble. But, see, they changed ours to play Tuesday and Thursday. Now you play the same opponent in the same week. And so you only have 1 day's rest in between, and then you got Friday and Saturday. You got Friday and Saturday to, practice, and we never had that before. We just had Saturday, and so we used Friday as agility, plyometric, weightlifting day, and then Saturday back to baseball.
And of course, baseball put in the pitch limit years ago, and that kind of you think that does help? And of course, we got to save these kids' arms in some manner.
Oh, I think it does because we shut them off. I only had one pitcher go past 70 this year, and I went to his parents and said, "Are you okay?" And they said, "Yes, he knows his arm," and that was Ahmad Goldson. And I don't really like doing that, but he was doing so well, only throwing a one-hitter, and so we stayed with it. But we usually try to plan out 2 to 3 pitchers per game with only 1 day in between, and so you really have to figure out your strategy.
Now, we mentioned, Matt mentioned earlier the P5 moniker earlier. Obviously, for those that don't know, you are coaching your grandson, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now,
and my P4 is my hitting coach, and I'm P3, yes.
Okay, so P4 is there.
Yep.
How is it coaching your grandson?
Just like having another player. I get right on his tail just like I would anybody else, and he knows. And the good thing about it is he lives and dies this game and works at it all the time and tries to be a good team leader, do the best he can to help the team. And, we just try to be a good family out there. And he knows that when we walk between the lines that this is a team game, and we don't do this individual thing. We try to do what's best for everybody, and it's not hard coaching because his parents have done a great job bringing him up.
Is P5 nearby?
Yeah, he's right here.
Can we ask a question or two to P5?
Yeah, then I want to come back to you one time, okay?
Yeah, we're definitely coming back. Yes. We're not going to discard you until we get you back.
All right, P5 about to join us, the grandson of Menchville baseball coach Phil Forbes III and one of the key standouts for the reigning Region 5A champion Menchville Monarchs. He now joins us on the show after batting .427 with 30 runs batted in and a 1.64 earned run average and going 3-0 on the mound last year, All-State honors. Is this P5 with us now on ESPN Radio 94.1?
Yes, sir. Hey, Coach Young.
Oh, that was Matt Hatfield. I'm Coach Young over here, so don't be nervous. It's your first interview. You're going to have many down the road when you get into college and also when you're playing for the Yankees down the road. So this will be your first. So don't forget it because you know I'm going to ask you for them Yankee tickets front row. All right?
Yeah.
And P5, I got to call you P5. I should call you by your name, but I love that moniker. Now, you're allowed to be honest, even though Granddad is standing right next to you. What's it like having your grandfather, not and your dad's there too? What's it like? Well, what's it like both of them right there?
It's no different at all, really. It's just like playing for a regular team. They're even harder on me than other people, but they don't treat me any different. It just when they yell at me and stuff like that, it makes me want to work harder and makes me want to prove them wrong. It's no different, though. It's just like playing like any other coach. They don't treat me different. I don't treat them different.
That's good to hear because you have two of the best there working with you, your dad and your grandfather. Now, if someone hasn't seen P5 play baseball before, this Menchville team, describe for them what you do best on the field and what makes it so special.
Well, we do pretty much anything. We know the basics, and we anytime there's a guy on second, we're hitting backside. We never give up. We're feisty. We bunt. We move over. It doesn't matter if I'm in the 3-hole or 4-hole hitter. If there's a guy on first, we're bunting them over. That's what we do. We score runs, and everybody produces. It's not just 1 through 4. It's 1 through 9.
Now, a little birdie told me that either you've committed or you're getting a lot of interest from Madison University. Is that correct?
I have committed to JMU.
Oh, nice.
What was it about JMU that you liked?
The atmosphere and the coaches there. They're really awesome, and the school atmosphere is really awesome, too.
And what did they say they liked most about you that set you apart?
They really like my arm. They really like the fact that I have good movement on my curveball, and they like how every time they've came back to see me that I've improved and worked on what they've told me to. So I guess just looking more at me as a pitcher for them. So I guess I would say that they like more of the stuff I have on the mound than on the field, like playing second like I usually do.
Now let me ask you, you're a big Yankee fan?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay. Now is that because of the family situation, or you picked them on your own?
Oh, well,
both.
Family always brings it in, but either way, I'd still like the Yankees.
Who's your favorite Yankee right now?
Aaron Judge.
Favorite Yankee of all time?
Derek Jeter.
All right, so you don't go back to the Mickey Mantle days. Okay. I got to ask you, how's your grades?
Good.
Okay. And the final question from me, who imitates Coach Forbes the best on the team?
Who imitates him the best?
Now, don't tell me nobody, and don't tell me you're not in the running, because I heard somebody told me you were the second best.
Somebody told you I'm the second best?
I can't divulge who said it.
I'd probably say one of the kids from last year could really do it good, but this year I would say probably either Stephen Cook or Ahmad Goldson. One of those two could.
Oh boy!
They could definitely give him a good imitation.
Poor Stephen and Ahmad gonna be running laps. Who was the one from last year that had him nailed? Who had him down pat last year?
Kyle Ortiz.
Well, see, he doesn't have to worry about running laps now. So that's great. Well, last one for you, P5, before you turn it back over to your grandfather. Last year had a great season. I think you finished up 21-3, lost in the state quarters to Prince George. How much has that motivated you and the returnees this year to get back to that point and go further with a chance at a state championship?
It's motivated us a lot. We've probably, our winter, usually we do like 2 times a week. We work hard, but this year we really were focused. We had a good fall. This winter we did, I think, 3 or 4 times a week. Every day we were going into the gym lifting, and then we would go to the inside like the gym where the hoops are at and stuff. We'd run, we'd throw, we'd do a bunch of stuff. So I think it's motivated us a lot, and this year we knew we had kind of a chip on our shoulder. Everybody's targeting us and wants to beat us because of last year, because we have almost the same team. So sometimes we, like the one game this year, we kind of let our guard down. But after that loss we had this year, I think we're going to be right back where we were last year. And I mean, as long as we're motivated, which I think we are, I think we're going to, the sky's the limit for us.
Well, Philip, we wish you all the best at Menchville High School the rest of the way and James Madison University as well. Enjoy Yankee Stadium and turn it back over to your grandfather, all right?
Thank you.
Good luck, Phil.
That is P5, Philip V, joining us, the JMU baseball commit from the Menchville Monarchs, also the son of Philip IV, the hitting coach, and now Philip III, Phil Forbes, joining us back here on the show, the head baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs. He was the 2009 USA Today Coach of the Year, and back in 2009, all 9 starters went on to play college baseball, hoping to get a state championship again this year. And, Coach, we turn it back over to you now. Last year's team, he being one of the returnees in the P5, 21-3, got to state quarters. I imagine this team has been hungry all offseason long, knowing how close you are to getting back to that point.
Well, we've tasted that loss all year, and that's what I want them to remember. And before they speak, I tell them to make sure you taste in your mouth before you let those words out, because we have to stay together. The strength is a team, and we just have to work hard. And, everybody, all kids today talk about down the road, but we keep them focused every day just on one game at a time, because anything can happen in this game, and that's the way we're approaching it. And hopefully at the end we'll be there.
Hey, Phil, I asked him about favorite Yankees. Of course, it's like Aaron Judge now. All time he said Jeter. I said, so you don't go back to the Mantle years. You're going to have to educate him on the Mantle years, Joe Pepitone, all those guys back in the day.
Absolutely. He loves the guys there today, and he's very up on everyone. But you're right. They don't know the real good guys way back in the day like you and I do, Ed.
And he handled
he's not antique like I am.
There you go. And he handled his first interview well, so he'll be on his way.
I think didn't we have him on last year? Didn't we have him on last year?
Did we interview him last year?
Yeah, we were having hitting practice, and you asked me if he was nearby. Yeah, you did.
All right, so he's handled both well.
Yeah.
All right, he'll have no problem at JMU, and when he plays for the Yankees in the future, as long as I get those tickets.
I want to share this with you. I got a 4-year-old grandson coming up named Mason Hudgens. He's going to be, we got him batting left, throwing left, got quick feet, good hands, very strong. His dad's 6'5", and he'll be around there one day too. So remember that name, Mason Hudgens.
All right.
Keep him coming. Keep him coming.
Oh.
In our last couple of remaining minutes with you, Coach, and we thank you for the time this morning. Phil Forbes, head baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs, joining us from Yankee Stadium here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. Handicap the Peninsula District for us and the rest of Region 5A. We know Danny Mitchell's got a good squad at Hampton. What's it looking like out there?
Well, Gloucester's very good. Hampton's very good. You got to be on top baseball every time you get out there. But, Maury's going to be right back there. Princess Anne, Kempsville, Madison River. You never know, So like I said, I don't look that far ahead. I just try to figure out what I got to do the next day to get these kids working harder. And like P5 said, the motivation is there, the energy's there, and we just got to focus on one game at a time.
And Phil, P5 made a great comment I liked as a coach. He said, if I'm in a 3-hole, 4-hole, doesn't matter. If there's a runner on first, we're butting them, we're moving them over. So that's a testament to you. You're teaching your fundamentals instead of swinging for the fences or whatever. And the way kids are nowadays, probably you give some kid a bunt signal, they look at you like you're crazy. But obviously your kids know right to a T how the game is supposed to be played.
Well, we're going to peck away at you and do whatever we got to do to try to get the jump on you. And if we can do it early, we love that. But we try to do this stuff the whole game. And these kids realize we work on that stuff. And, moving the runner, getting them around, bunting, getting them to third, trying to get them in squeeze or whatever we have to do to nibble away. And that was our success last year during the regionals. I don't think anybody expected us. They usually play a mile deep on us and expect us to hit it to the fence. And we try to slow the game down and make it a little shorter.
It's funny because Tim Kirchin, when we talked about rule changes, I said, Tim, why don't these guys, the third baseman is playing short left field, why don't you bunt the ball? And his comment was, Ed, it's not how the players are built nowadays. It's, swinging for the fences. Even when they hit a sacrifice fly, back in the day, you hit a sacrifice fly a certain way. It's because they were swinging for the fences. Now it wasn't a sacrifice fly.
Now they all want to launch the ball, and we do teach that sometimes when we got a guy on third base and stuff like that. But if you're going to launch it better go over because it's just going to be a long out.
Well, Coach, before we let you run, tell us when's spring break coming up, and what's your next game for you guys?
We play Kickotan when we come back after break on a Tuesday, and give the kids a break, and we'll get right back at it Friday and all that. So I want to say thank you to you guys for all that you do for these young people of today in all sports. You're great people. You do a good job, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach.
Phil, it's easy. Our job's easy when we got people like you out there with the youngsters and keeping on the right track. So trust us on that. It's guys like you to make it easy for us.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, and I'll be seeing the Yankees, I think, next weekend in Baltimore.
Good job. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy. Phil Forbes, our guest here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com, the longtime baseball coach of the Menchville Monarchs, and a great one at that here on ESPN Radio 94.1. I believe he's coached not just baseball, but basketball, football, wrestling, track, volleyball, tennis in his 40-plus years of coaching. I think he's one of those, you talk about Hall of Fame people, I think he's one of those that deserves to be in Hall of Fames. I say multiple of them when he's done, which doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. He's got a reigning region championship team, and I think they're going to be right there with those Hampton, Gloucester, Maury, some of those teams at the end of the year. They won the region last year, lost to Prince George, but a lot of components there for him to make a deep run in early June.
And he's got another grandson on the way. So
yeah, you might want to coach him too. One more segment. Give us a call at 757-687-9494. We got trivia here on ESPN Radio 94.1.